Now I want to introduce voice SEO. It's a very new and hot topic inside SEO, and because it's new, we got to jump on it as a trend so that we're early and we get ahead of the competition.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
What is voice SEO? It's basically when people talk into their devices and they ask, "Hey Siri, what's going on? Like, what's the weather today?" Or "Where's the nearest Starbucks?" And this is projected to be over 50% of all searches by 2020. That's not to say that typed searches are going away. Typed searches are growing too, but voice searches are just growing much more rapidly. And all the phones that we have now, they have that enabled. And not only that, there are two kinds of devices. There are mobile phones, but there's also the smart home devices, which are voice only, because the phones, they do other things, but the smart home devices, they're just listening only, and which is kind of creepy in a way, but I guess that's where we're going. So they're literally only made for voice search. And an important thing to understand is that every voice search is considered a local search by Google since it's on a mobile device, and they consider your phone or your home device like a mobile device. So they're going to give you locally based results as a priority. And one thing to keep in mind, that when people type things into Google search, they usually type in relatively short sentences and searches. But when people talk into their mobile phones or devices, they speak in natural language. So the searches are just longer and they're more natural. So when we are doing SEO now and we're doing our keyword research, we have to keep in mind that longer and more naturally sounding phrases will be used, and it's important to rank for it. Now let's talk about which businesses can benefit from this the most. Of course, local businesses, because people search, "Hey, where's the nearest Starbucks? Where's the nearest home repair professional? Where's the nearest cleaners?" And there's a lot of studies in the industry that show that there's once people find a local business through voice search or any kind of local search, there's a very high rate that they're actually going to visit that business and do business with them and buy from them. So local businesses are great for voice search. Also e-commerce, like, "Hey Google, replace this dog food," or order a new item from a new furniture. Searches like that are common. And of course, informational content like blogs and just articles. When people want to know what is something, they just want information. They just sometimes now ask their phones for that information. So what happens is the FAQ pages, they're kind of coming back because FAQ pages are phrased precisely in the question and answer format, which is the natural language that voice SEO likes. And FAQ pages and content pages can take advantage of Google's answer box. A lot of people don't know what's answer box. I'm going to show you what that is. I just made an informational search. How many types of flowers are there? And so this is the answer box. You see how it appears as a little box here? And really, Google pulls this answer from a random website. That's actually the first website on the list here that answers this question. Google pulls that answer. This is also sometimes called a clickless search, because often I get my answer here and that website actually doesn't get the click because there's no need for me to go to that website. I actually get the answer. So if you're the website owner, it's kind of good and bad, because yeah, your website showed up, but maybe half of the people don't click there. And then the answer box is interesting because look, if I pull down answers, there's always they give me more potential answers. So you can actually find a lot of keyword ideas here, and it can give you ideas for a lot of content that you can create that will target those keywords so that you can show up in more voice searches. And also, of course, everything your potential customers might search. If you're a restaurant, your customers might search like, do they serve this kind of food? Is there parking? Is there this? Is there that? Or anything like that. Or restaurants with parking, restaurants in a certain neighborhood. Anything that they can come up with, if you preempt their voice searches and make sure that you have that content on your site, that will help you come up in more searches for those kinds of queries. And of course, you'll have a lot less competition because not that many sites are preparing themselves for voice SEO, so you'll be ahead of the game.